And are you Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
All right. So did he enter a plea only on the unlawful possession?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Our cases to BTA.
Okay. So according to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 8 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. State is opposed to the application, and they will take in consideration 2025 CR 012326. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report and TAP evaluation? Any objections?
We have, Your Honor, there's no objections from defense counsel on the PSI or the TAP evaluation.
All right, state you're opposed. Any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any witnesses?
Judge, my client would like something to say to the court, but as far as any additional witnesses, none.
All right, could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you're going to need to keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear and I can hear.
Okay.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record. All right, defense, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Rodriguez, you know why you're here this morning, correct? We're asking the court to grant your application for probation, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Now, the court knows and you are aware that you previously have been given deferred adjudication, correct?
Yes, sir.
And those two deferreds had been revoked.
Yes, sir.
Please tell the court, Mr. Rodriguez, why this time your application and your desire to be in probation is different.
A long time ago, I didn't understand two things that I do now, and that's that time is short. Two of the most important people in my life passed away. One very recently. In the audience right now is my mother and my sister. My mom doesn't depend on me so much, but she really needs my help. I had a lot of momentum going before I came here.
Mr. Rodriguez, in reviewing the PSI, you are aware that should the court grant your application for probation, probation has recommended you do several outpatient treatment programs, right? And it's my understanding that you've agreed to do those programs?
Absolutely.
Okay. You also asked the court that you'd be open to leaving on probation, a lengthy probation. You are aware that the maximum term that the judge could impose for probation is 10 years.
That's fine.
Okay. And finally, also to make you aware that if the court were to grant your application, any violation, however slight, would, make you place you under arrest and then bring you here for
Absolutely.
okay. You could be sentenced to prison.
I understand.
Okay. Now, as far as helping your mother and your sister who are here, tell the court a little bit more about why they need your help specifically.
Well, one of the people that passed away recently was my mom's mother. She stayed at home with my sister. She's autistic and epileptic. She has an intelligent maybe a 5-year-old. She's there by herself sometimes. When I was there, it was a lot different. Actually, right before I came here, it was New Year's Eve. Somebody set a firework off in the backyard, off the yard outside. And when I went downstairs to get some water, my sister looking out the window at all the smoke, just oblivious to what was really going on. Had I not been there, wouldn't have been for the fire. Stuff like that scares me every day.
All right. Anything further, Judge?
All right, state.
Yes. Given that we're here, you chose to operate that motor vehicle on the off state highway. Yeah, so you know that's a violation of the law, and you made that choice, right? And when you were frisked by the officers, they felt a lump in your pocket, correct? And it turned out to be suspected drugs, right? And then they located a firearm in the center console. Whose firearm is that?
I mean, it was given to me by the guy who owns the scrapyard, but I don't know who owns it.
Did you ever become aware that the firearm was stolen?
No, I didn't become aware the firearm belonged to somebody who had gotten in trouble for the firearm. This was later on after I'd already got in trouble.
No further questions.
All right, any other questions?
Anything further, Your Honor?
All right, any objections to the court asking questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So when you were revoked the first time for a possession case, do you remember why you were revoked?
I didn't really care what was going on. That was whenever I lost the first person that I cared about. Just negligence. I was young and dumb.
No, I mean, what allegations? Well, usually when they revoke you, they'll say, we're revoking you because you didn't report, because you're testing positive or something.
I was so lost in this Australian house.
And so that was a possession case. And an unauthorized use case, I'm assuming since they have the same dates that those will probably ran concurrently. All right. And then in 2021, you had the evading arrest detention with a vehicle. All right. So on that one, I'm assuming there was no probation. You were just sentenced.
That one I did because I had literally 2 weeks left to parole. I just freaked out. I go to court for it.
All right. So this is what I'm going to tell you.
Yes.
I've been a defense attorney. Sometimes I'll see things, police pulling somebody over just because they don't have a license plate or a traffic offense. Like, officers are allowed to pull people over, right? Even if they just pulling you over because they want to see other things, right? But the issue with you is they pull you over for no license plate in the front. Then it turns out you're driving without a license. Then you have a gun in the vehicle, and then you have drugs. Those are my issues. I just don't think you're a good candidate for probation. I understand the other issues you have that you're saying that's going on in your life, but I just don't think you would be a good candidate. So I'm going to find you guilty. What I can tell you is, well, before I say this, let me hear the parties argue for amount of time.
Rodriguez has already done a trip for 3 years. He did 9 months in state jail in 2 years. It seems that those amounts are not enough to prevent and deter Mr. Rodriguez from continuing on his choices in this course of action to use his action.
All right, defense.
Your Honor, I would ask for the minimum of 2 years in TDC. It's evident from his testimony that Mr. Rodriguez has admitted guilt to this offense. He is taking responsibility. He also let the court know through answering to the state's questions that he made a poor choice that evening. He didn't minimize it or he didn't withdraw from responsibility. He did say that he made a poor choice, and obviously he's regretting it because he knows that his time with family gets shorter and shorter as the years go by. I have talked to his girlfriend. I can confirm, and also the PSI, that he does have very much family support. And so I don't think that once he gets out of prison, I don't believe that he'll fall or make poor choices anymore. I think he's obviously learned his lesson. And so I'm asking the court to sentence him to 2 years in TDC.
All right, this court is going to do. The court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to a $2,000 fine, time and money run concurrent, take in consideration 2025 CR 012326. I'll give you credit for any time served. I'll recommend the therapeutic community. I don't have jurisdiction to place you in that program, but it will show on the judgment that I'm requesting that you be placed in the therapeutic community. You'll have to request it as well. There's to be no residing in households with minors, and the court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison. And of course, give you the credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, make sure you make better decisions, because if you come back, you're potentially looking at being charged as a habitual, which would mean your minimum would be 25, okay?
Can I ask one more thing?
Sure.
If you were to be able to reconsider my probation, and I said that I was willing to take the max if I messed up even more, so you reconsider.
No, and I will tell you, I won't be the judge who would be deciding that if you were to mess up. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, counsel.